Jessie and Delilah Combs, the twin daughters of music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs and the late Kim Porter. These two young women, already raised in the spotlight, made an entrance and exit that left everyone talking, their presence igniting excitement, in a way few teenagers could ever dream of doing. While most of their classmates had arrived at Harbor House an hour earlier, buzzing about corsages, music, and picture-perfect moments, Jessie and Delilah stepped into the evening with a grandeur that can only be described as cinematic. Their arrival was deliberate, fashionably late, and dripping with confidence. As they glided into the venue, wrapped in dazzling red dresses that sparkled under the light like rubies catching fire, they instantly transformed the already glamorous prom into something that felt like a red carpet event. But it wasn't just their attire or the aura of fame that had people mesmerized. It was their entrance, and even more so, their exit, that took things to an entirely different level. Their dates, sharply dressed and visibly proud to be standing beside the twins, quite literally swept them off their feet. With practiced grace and playful showmanship, they carried Jessie and Delilah down a set of grand stairs, an act so charming and unexpected it drew gasps and laughter from those gathered nearby. Cameras clicked rapidly, capturing every angle, and within minutes the video of the twins being carried, elegant, beaming, and completely in command of the moment, was making its way across social media, where fans and followers of the Combs family couldn't get enough. Outside, a sleek black SUV waited, its tinted windows shielding the mystery of where the night might lead next. As Jessie and Delilah were carefully helped into the back seat, still glowing from the joy of the evening, the vehicle slowly pulled away, leaving behind an afterimage of two girls who had clearly inherited not only their parents' looks, but their sense of presence, timing, and spectacle. It wasn't just a prom night. It was a statement. But as celebratory and lighthearted as the night seemed, there was a contrasting narrative quietly playing in the background. One that was far more serious, somber, and emotionally charged. Just days before, the twins had been attending their father's criminal trial in New York City, where Sean Combs, once one of hip-hop's most untouchable titans, was now facing disturbing allegations tied to sex trafficking and abuse. The images of Jessie and Delilah sitting silently in the courtroom gallery, dressed in muted colors and surrounded by a tense cloud of legal and emotional weight, painted a very different picture than the radiant teens who floated through prom night in Los Angeles. Their ability to shift between those two worlds, one of public scrutiny, legal battles, and media frenzy, and the other of teenage milestones, glitter, and friendship, is a testament to both their resilience and the complex lives they've been forced to live. Most high schoolers worry about college applications, social drama, or what shoes to wear to prom. Jessie and Delilah have had to navigate all of that while also seeing their father on the news, hearing their mother's name spoken in courtrooms, and feeling the pressure of public opinion crushing in on them from all sides. Their late mother, Kim Porter, wasn't just a celebrity figure. They lost a real, tangible presence in their lives when she passed away in 2018. For the twins, prom wasn't just a glamorous night. It was also a bittersweet milestone, a celebration she would have cherished, documented, and spoken about endlessly. Kim was the kind of mother who adored capturing memories, celebrating every achievement, and being fully present for her children's joys. Her absence was surely felt that night, even as Jessie and Delilah smiled for the cameras and leaned into the magic of the evening. Somewhere in the flutter of their dresses and the glow of their smiles, there was a silent tribute to her, a whisper of grief woven into the laughter, a longing for what could have been, had she still been alive to see them take this step toward adulthood. Back in New York, Diddy's legal troubles continued to mount. His appearance in the Brooklyn jail and Manhattan courthouse had become a routine presence in the media cycle. Each time he emerged, sometimes expressionless, other times visibly rattled, people speculated about what the outcome of the case would mean, not only for him but for the empire he had built. Diddy had once reigned supreme in the world of music, business, and culture. He was the man behind Bad Boy Records, the architect of countless chart-topping hits, the mogul who redefined what it meant to blend artistry with entrepreneurship. But in recent months, the narrative had shifted drastically. Once seen as untouchable, he was now facing some of the most serious accusations of his life. Allegations of manipulation, exploitation, and violence had emerged, and the public was watching closely. Cassie's testimony in particular, detailed, emotional, and implicating, shook the foundations of Diddy's carefully curated public image. Her revelations brought Kim Porter's name into the legal conversation again, not as a defendant or accuser, but as a ghost lingering in the background. People began asking questions. What had she known? What had she endured? And how had her relationship with Diddy shaped not only her life but those of the children they shared? Jessie and Delilah's attendance at their father's trial during the first week of testimony was more than symbolic. It was emotional armor. It was the kind of loyalty that only children can show to a parent, even when the world is screaming otherwise. They sat quietly, perhaps not fully understanding the magnitude of the legal language being used, but definitely feeling the weight of it all. It was in the way they held their expressions still, in how they avoided the cameras when they left court, and in the rare, guarded glances they exchanged with family members. But then came prom, an interruption in that heavy script, a chance to step out of the shadows of scandal and into the light of something youthful, joyful, and fleeting. And they took that opportunity with grace. While some might see the timing as ironic or even controversial, others recognize it for what it truly is, a moment for two young women to reclaim their story, to write a chapter that wasn't defined by their father's mistakes or their mother's memory, but by their own right to joy. Still, the juxtaposition is hard to ignore. In 1 week, Jessie and Delilah had occupied two worlds, one where they were courtroom observers, possibly hearing things about their father that no child ever wants to hear, and another where they were teenagers in love with the moment, in love with the glamour, in love with the fantasy of a perfect night. Their ability to do both, to hold space for conflicting emotions, to move fluidly between sorrow and celebration, is a skill most adults haven't mastered. But the twins, by necessity more than choice, have been forced to mature in the public eye. It's not just about being strong, it's about surviving under scrutiny. What makes the whole situation even more poignant is that Diddy himself, for all his wealth and power, missed this moment. Behind bars or surrounded by attorneys, he wasn't there to help them pick their dresses, to take pictures in the driveway, or to give them that awkward but emotional fatherly pep talk before they headed off into the night. Whatever role he had played in their lives before this moment, he was now missing one of the most important nights of their adolescence. And whether or not he knew it, whether or not it hit him while staring at the gray walls of a jail cell, the truth was unchanging. Milestones don't wait. Time doesn't pause for court dates or controversies. His daughters had grown up, and they were stepping forward without him. This moment is layered. It's beautiful and sad, joyful and painful. It's the celebration of youth colliding with the realities of life. It's the echo of a mother gone too soon, the absence of a father caught in chaos, and the emergence of two girls becoming women in a world that expects far too much from them far too soon. But maybe, just maybe, Jessie and Delilah already know that their lives will never be ordinary. Maybe they've accepted that their story is one of contradictions, of extremes, of brilliance and shadow. And maybe that night, dressed in red, carried like royalty, smiling through the flash of cameras, they weren't just prom queens. They were survivors, navigating a complicated legacy with elegance, maturity, and grace beyond their years.